It's a picture-perfect fall afternoon here at Maple Grove Crimson Stadium for Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Soccer on CCX as the Totino-Grace Eagles pay a visit here to the Maple Grove Crimson. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Sig Ligry. And Sig, these teams a lot to like this year. Records are pretty similar. They both have a game or two where they say, oh, well, we'd like to have that one back. But overall, they've done quite well, and this should be a pretty close and good matchup today.
I would think so. All the games that they've had trouble with, it's been finishing, like in most games. But you're right, they are equal. They have some very talented players on both sides. Coaching staff, we know them from years. They're very good. I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a very exciting game.
Both of these teams very near to the end of the regular season. It seems to go by in a flash here in the fall, but as we get toward October, it's actually going to be the last week of the regular season this week ahead. So I think this is a good test for both of them in that way, too, to get ready for good quality competition. Obviously, they're in different sections and in even different classes, but just to see a quality opponent as you get ready for the playoffs is big.
Oh, it makes a big difference in how you play the last few games. It also makes a huge difference at the end of the year when you get the seedings for the sections, because they look at who you played, how you played, and the record. And there's also the big controversy about 1A versus 2A. How much does that factor in for the seeding? So both teams want to finish strong, and they need to finish strong.
Let's talk about key players to look at in today's contest, starting with the visitors from Grace. He's about as dynamic as they come in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Stevenson Lamar is having a great year, a great career, and he is a fun player to watch.
Absolutely. He's got 20 goals, 7 assists, number 7, senior forward. And as you say, he can move the ball around, take shots, very dangerous up on top.
A couple of D1 programs that he's quite interested in and considering, including Creighton and also Dayton University. And for Maple Grove, a guy that's pretty hard to miss. He's a big guy. Will Zaver has been in their program for a long time.
Well, he's got 6 goals and 5 assists, number 6 senior midfielder. Knows how to distribute the ball and also gets up there and knows how to finish. When you see him on the field, very tall player, very big, very intimidating.
Injuries have been a little bit of an issue for both of these teams, too. We're not going to be seeing, unfortunately, Liam Vance, Bill Vance's son, the Totino-Grace, one of their captains, is going to be held out today with an injury. Meanwhile, Maple Grove's getting their freshman goalkeeper back. He's been out for a while after an injury, and so those kind of things, too. Those are some things where coaches have to make some decisions about being ready for the playoffs. You know, you don't want to chance a guy in a game like this, although it is an important game.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit careful how the players play. If they play too strong and too heavy and get injured, then they're maybe out for the season in the playoffs.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top here. It is Totino-Grace and Maple Grove. The boys' game up first. The girls' game will come up later here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this. We're leaving.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
National anthem complete here at Maple Grove as the teams get set for battle here as kind of a busy last week or two to close out the regular season for both of these teams. This is one of the few where they're scheduled Saturday conference games throughout the conference. And we said picture perfect. One note to that, though. Wind is going to be an issue a little bit, I think, on goal kicks and free kicks and corner kicks. The ball's going to be affected by the wind for sure. But temperature-wise, and the sun's out, couldn't ask for much more for the fans and for the players and coaches for these two games this afternoon, the boys game and then the girls contest coming up, as we said. Maple Grove coach or co-coach Greg Leininger telling us that they just have had trouble finishing, that they've been games that they've, he's felt controlled the play somewhat, but just haven't been able to put goals away, and it ends up costing them. And Totino-Grace is a little bit the opposite. They've got the goal-scoring punch for sure, and they're a little bit less deep than they've been as we look at the starters for the Eagles with sophomore Gabe Kuffel, a little bit less deep across the board. They graduated 11 seniors from last year and not as experienced maybe in the back as they've been in some years as well. Ryan Brown, a player who was in the Thunder Academy program before and now playing for them, and they're excited to have him. And we are underway. Maple Grove looking to attack early, but the flag comes up. This play is offside. And so a free kick here as you get a look at the starters from Maple Grove. As we said in the pregame, Holden Waldron, freshman, back in the lineup as he was out after getting injured in the game against Osseo. So he is back playing in today's contest for the Crimson. Controlled here by Lamar but briefly, but his pass taken. The Eagles looking to attack again. Ball cleared to the outside there as Crimson Matt Rada feeling they were in a little bit of trouble, so he'll clear it out, and we get a throw coming for Totino-Grace.
Yeah, that was a good call by the defender. Get that ball out of the danger area and then regroup.
Xavier Savard getting set to trigger it in here for Totino-Grace as they try and get some traffic in front of Waldrum here. He's going to come out in the middle of the pack but didn't get it. He's not an especially big keeper either. Battle for it here. Levi Dunlap working well there for Maple Grove, number 49. Now they're going to clear it back and use Gabe Kuffel, the keeper, get him a touch on the ball early, and he's able to swing it up left side here. Eagles possessing as Swanson goes back with it. There's Dunlap getting in to try and break that up. And now a turnover forced, and here come the Crimson. Ball put to the front, nice cross there, and Kuffel coming out to get it though before Andy Hicks could get there. And then he tries to swing it out right side, and that one gets away from him, so it'll be a throw for Maple Grove, Teddy Miller.
And the Crimson want to establish control early and get some offense going. We have the ball go, what's a foul called?
Connor Swanson's pass directed out of there, and here comes Xavier now banging it up the left side. Good work by Andy Hicks here, able to keep it in, and then was kind of run off it a little bit there by George Franklin. Nice control on that one there as it's dropped back by Damon Humphrey. gets the return here, but taken. Swanson's pass, and it comes back. They try to go up right side. Jack Krieger was caught a little bit flat-footed there, and that one will go out of play. We get a throw here for Maple Grove, as Teddy Miller will trigger it in. Dunlop does a nice job shielding that ball, but then a takeaway, and then the Eagles turn it back over. Brian Brown pass behind a player who started to depart the area when he wasn't expecting it. Charlie Miller had it knocked away, and here come the Eagles looking to counter quickly. Brian Brown pushing it ahead toward Lamar there, but knocked away. Swanson stepping in to steal that pass. And then denied in the front by Miller, but ball still dangerous, and the Crimson able to bang it out of there for the moment anyway. Sent right back up for Jack Krieger, but he lost it. They look up the line. Dunlop trying to keep that one in, and he did so. Boy, not a game for the timid out there, is it?
No,
there's some physical battles.
Yeah, both teams really fighting for the ball, trying to get possession. Crimson with their second foul.
Look at that big-time collision there. It'll be a foul on Maple Grove, so free kick here for Totino-Grace as Savard sending it in the box. Crimson Xavier got first touch on that one, and then it's grabbed by Waldrum. Waldrum punting this one out of there, trying to keep it low in the wind there. Krieger had it taken away by Levi Dunlop. He's had some impressive moments already in this one. Pushes it to the outside, but maybe a little too far, but still trying to pressure the defender there and see if he can't recover, and does.
Still battling for it, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles.
Roddy Hood will take the throw here for Grace. Now picked up by Teddy Miller and tried to swing it through there to Hicks. It's going to come all the way to Kuffel. At least so far, it looks like Kuffel's wanting to distribute the ball out with the throw rather than trying to, deal with this wind maybe and take the punt.
Yeah, take the sure thing. Go for the distribution. Maple Grove again taking possession.
Nice step in and interception there by Savard, but then that one did not connect and will roll out. Get a throw here for Maple Grove. There's a look at Bill Vance, the Totino-Grace head coach, and he was honest about both the coaches were. We've known them, as Sig said, for a long time, honest about what they have. He said we're not as loaded across the board maybe as we've been in some years for sure, but we feel like we've got some talent, especially in terms of creating goals with Lamar, obviously, and also Liam Vance and Brown and those kind of guys. So corner kick here for Maple Grove is Chris France will take it.
Nice low shot.
Oh, and it bounces out front. Here's a shot and a goal. Maple Grove is on the board first as Andy Hicks was in the right spot. After that corner, it deflected over to him and just put a nice shot up into the corner of the net. And Maple Grove is on the board first. You see the corner of the battle for it, and just one touch on that one.
Just kind of hooked it in there with his foot, and we're right into the corner. Nice shot. You see it again. Ball's out in traffic. There's a nice, right off the instep. Hooked it right into the upper right corner.
And there's a situation too where your players now have gotten used to playing on turf. On grass field like Totino-Grace has, that ball's not going to bounce quite as high. But he was ready. I mean, he had the leg up to direct that ball, and no problem connecting with it at about thigh high level, and just beautiful shot. A lot of times off those corner kicks, I mean, yeah, you love the pretty ones where it's directly in off a header, but a lot of times it's something like that where the first ball is deflected away and you're not really sure where it's going to be deflected to, and as a keeper, you're just kind of caught there. I mean, there was not much he could have done on that one.
Yeah, you're in no man's land. That's why I said I like that kind of a corner kick, because it's low and fast, and anything can happen. It starts ricocheting off bodies.
And I think it was, a good example, too, of Hicks of not getting so intent on being right next to the net. You sometimes have to have some spacing going on to where if the ball does get deflected out of there a little bit, you're in a position to take a shot. And if you're right on the goal line, that one's going to be a difficult one for you to handle. Good effort to try and keep it in, but it's going to end up being a goal kick as Dunlop, that ball rolled just over the goal line there. And so Cuffle will get a goal kick out of it, but Maple Grove striking first in this one on a goal in the 7th minute of the game. Andy Hicks striking, and so the Crimson will play with a lead here. Obviously, Grace, we said, very capable of scoring goals. Park Center found that out the hard way. Pirates had a 4-0 lead on Grace, and the game ended up in a 5-5 tie. Crimson trying to advance it upfield here. Joe Morey steps in to break that one up, though, for Totino-Grace.
And you could bet the Crimson, and especially the Crimson coaching staff, is well aware of that feat. So they know that this Grace team can easily catch fire in a hurry. So you got to do what you did there. Go up and tackle the ball away, get the possession to favor you.
Hicks working it to the outside. This one will roll out of play, and sub coming on for Totino-Grace, Joshua Abedu Bensi will check in. There's a look at Joshua, and throw in here, and this one will be headed right back out of play. Another throw coming. Totino-Grace will try and move it up that sideline. Headers bounce back and forth here. Chetty Miller send one forward, but that one sent right back out. Knocked away there by Matt Rada.
A little bit of a hook, but no call. Nice, play the ball up.
Push to the outside here. Trying to cross one. Oh, and that won't come. Nobody home on that far post. Got it all the way through, but we'll just roll out of play harmlessly there. Pretty good effort. Connor Fournier for Maple Grove.
That was a nice crossing pass. It just right across the goal area. If there had been anybody near that position, they could have been headed right in.
Brown pushed it forward, but a good step up by Charlie Miller, one of the captains for the Crimson. Now he comes up with it again here and kept the ball in play. See a lot of good energy from these teams today. Sometimes you maybe worry a little bit on a Saturday. It's just a different routine, like how ready are we go to start the game. But I feel like just the combination of nice cool weather but a sunny day, I think, has them pretty excited. And I think both teams know that the other team is, pretty good, and it'll take their A game to win.
Yeah, that's what we're saying in the pregame. It's very key for both teams to come out with a good game. Not only to gain momentum, but to win something so they can get good seeding in the section playoffs.
Free kick here for Grace as Savard lining it up.
And look for him to get it far down to where the traffic is, and he does, right to Lamar.
Lamar, they know about him. Three guys surrounding him.
And he's still got the ball. And he's going to get a pass off. Wow.
Good crossing pass there, but it was broken up. Now a left-footed try. That one is blocked as Swanson stepped into it, and Maple Grove looking to quickly counter, sending it ahead for Dunlop, racing after it here. Pretty good job by the D there. That's a lonely feeling when you're chasing it down and there's a forward right on your heels like that.
Right, and you've already seen his speed in the last few minutes, so you have to mark him up and play your position. Definitely did a great job standing his ground and coming up with the turnover.
JT House, number 16 in. Gavin Peterson, 27. 37, Maxwell Barty for Maple Grove. Also, Chidera Anyamale, number 43. So lots of changes for the Crimson. Charlie Miller, the throw in here, looking all the way to the front. Now the pass coming back and recovered. They try to go back toward Miller. Barty sent it back and now lofted ahead, and a long dash out there for Cuffle, and he was outside of the box when he handled this one.
You're right, it's going to be a handball just outside the box. Be able to go trying to get it set up quickly.
Xavier then.
He was ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and the defender, obviously, not an uncommon thing. The Grace guy's going, trying to pretend, oh, we didn't know any better and all this and that, but at this time they've taken away the quick element of surprise there.
Yeah, I think they were just standing there stalling.
Xavier.
Hooks
looking
it.
far post. Ooh, and
nice shot.
And Grace got a piece of that one first. So he tried to cross that one to the far post, and there's Xavier shrugging aside a much smaller opponent. Then he throws it off him.
Oh, my.
On the throw-in. Bouncer to the front. Oh, and a stop. Follow-up chance is wide of the mark from Peterson. As Cuffle was saying, hey, come on, they ran into me there, but
I like that when he bounced it off the defender's back. I haven't seen that before.
it was kind of a double whammy. It was a smart play to get the ball in play, but I also think they had been kind of talking a little back and forth a little bit about that bump there, and now Xavier is called for the bump. That's the flip side of it when you're as big a guy as Will, is that they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If you push somebody, it's going to be noticeable. Crimson again looking to send it long ahead here.
Shot coming. Defender gets back just in time.
Nice drop pass, but then not much on that second try, and it was blocked.
Yeah, I think he was trying to center up that pass, and I think he would have been better off taking the shot.
This time they topple the mighty Xavier, but he is fouled, and it'll be a free kick for Maple Grove.
You see that action. Header going in. Boy, he's a tall kid too, isn't he?
Xavier lofting one out front. The header, and grabbed up by Cuffle.
Nice reverse header.
Boy, Maple Grove, you have to say, besides just having the one goal, they've had the better of things so far. They've played well. Here's Lamar knocking it out to himself out on the wing. He's going to actually roll out of play and will be a corner, I believe.
Yep. First corner for the Eagles.
Lamar and Brown discussing what's going to be the best option here for this one.
I think it's going to be a tap in and then a return pass to Lamar.
Yep, exactly that. Here's Stevenson Lamar looking to get a shot, and he does get a hard one away, and Waldrum able to make the stop. You called that one right, and Brown and Lamar. It's obviously Grace is seeing teams that are really probably loading up to try and stop Lamar, so they have to, get creative with ways to get him some room.
And he sent a bullet in there too.
Throw in here, and we'll get a foul call actually against Maple Grove's Chris Franz there, as he was shielding a defender and leaning back into him, maybe held him a little bit, it looked like. Oh no, actually a throw in. Up the line it comes, but never got back into play really, so a throw for Maple Grove. Knocked ahead there by Peterson, and now the race is on.
Well, that's something that Totino-Grace is going to have to work on. They're letting these forwards get past them from the midfield on.
And it's kind of an interesting second group. Maple Grove basically subbed. Whoa, Xavier
No
away
call.
with one. He got a big time shove on. Here's a race for it, and Kuffel coming way out of goal and knocks it aside. Brian Brown couldn't believe there was no call on that one as Xavier knocked him out of the way.
It's like running into a tree. I think it was less of a shove and more of a reaction to the size of that player. There he is. Very talented player and also very big. This kind of guy is very dangerous in front of the goal area with his height and his scoring capabilities. He can head one in.
Comes to the front again, ball dangerous, but we'll get a call going against the Crimson here. Kuffel sending it ahead. Xavier with the header there. And it's going to be a handball, not really on purpose, but it went up into the hand of Teddy Miller, and then he knocked it back, and the Eagles are asking to at least get a warning for him there, kind of delaying the game. It's Xavier Savard getting set for this free kick for Totino-Grace. Sending it into the box, but Robinson up strong with the header to get it out of there. And now lofted ahead. Race is on. And pretty good job to get there and control it by JT House. House with a spinorama move. Drop the pass back. Crimson do get it back here. And then the shot attempt was blocked as Anyamale had it knocked away. But here they come again. Xavier gaining control here for Maple Grove. Changes directions. Going out for Peterson. He's hemmed in by Roddy Hood. Peterson, by the way, one of the better wrestlers around the area for sure. And had a great career so far for Maple Grove and a fun guy to watch in that sport for sure. Up the left side here now, the Eagles looking to quickly counter. Maple Grove's for sure had the better of the play so far here, but you always know Grace, can be dangerous in that quick counter and maybe generate something real quick.
It foul against Totino-Grace, but advantage called.
Comes to Kuffel, and he'll just swing it out left as he wants the tempo of this one to keep going. Eagles looking to work it upfield, and they do. Lamar.
Oh, Eagles tumbling forward and rolls over. No call.
Waldrum will boot it out of there as he get another look. The one-on-one battle. Lamar and Franz.
Feet got entangled.
I'm sorry, Caleb Robinson and Lamar. Yeah, I don't know. Lamar thought he was fouled.
Yep, he did.
I'm not so sure it was, though. They were battling.
Yeah.
He's still upset about it.
Well, you can't blame him. And it's hard to see from even with the replay, both players going down the field, shoulder to shoulder, and legs got tangled up.
Throw in here for Savard, trying to put one out into the box, into heavy traffic, and then knocked out of there by Peterson. Battle for it there, and House won that battle between two players.
Boy, I'm impressed with the way Maple Grove keeps moving the ball up.
Cleared out of there by Savard. It'll be a throw for Maple Grove. And the second group has come with a lot of energy too. They were playing well with the first bunch out there, and I think they're making a couple more substitutions here, so that includes who is going to be making a throw in. Carter Sheard, number 9, comes in. Keba Jana, junior, number 50, in for Maple Grove as well as they take the throw. They lead it 1-0. Andy Hicks getting a goal shortly after a corner kick for the Crimson. That came just under 7 minutes in, and they grab the 1-0 lead here on Totino-Grace. High bouncer again here. They put a lot of pressure on this Eagles defense in the first half. At times they've handled it well, at times not quite as well. Nice ball chipped ahead. Lamar coming, and it's
that was almost
out there.
That was almost exciting because Lamar had broken through the defense, but ran out of real estate before the keeper got there.
Yeah, and Waldrum obviously could feel him coming. He actually bobbled the ball briefly, but not enough to cause any trouble for him. Chipped over towards Sheard, a freshman. Got a few ninth graders on the lineup for Maple Grove, which in this big a program you don't see all that often. Coach was telling us he had really great numbers this year, and enough that they added another team at the lower level, about 90 guys out.
Yeah, that tells you how good their feeder program is. So looking in the future, it looks pretty promising for the Crimson.
A throw here for Totino-Grace after all the substitutions are completed. Roddy Hood will trigger it in. Teddy Miller got to that ball first. Lifted into the air by Jana. Boy, nothing's coming easy in this game.
No.
You're being pressured. You're being held and bumped and by all the way around the field, both sides.
Yeah, a lot of contact and bodies flying like we just saw.
And this is going to be a foul on Maple Grove, and free kick coming up here for Totino-Grace. Yeah, you see right there as they kept on bumping there. And
yep, checked his hip into his side, and that's going to get called. 7th foul in the first half on the Crimson.
Yeah, I'd say Maple Grove's been the more physical of the two teams for sure.
Yeah, only 2 fouls so far called on the Eagles. Now the Totino-Grace team with an opportunity.
Lamar lining it up.
About 24 yards out. See if he takes a direct shot or if he tries to set it up. Goes with a direct shot, a little bit high.
Missing over the top, so Landrum will get a goal kick out of it. Even though that one obviously didn't go in, you don't want to give them too many of those set ball chances from the spot like that.
When you have players of this caliber, you don't want to give them too many set plays within 25 yards of your goal, because they can pound it in there.
Chased down here by Savard. Knocked out of play. It'll be a throw for Totino-Grace. It's always known as a physical conference, and some would say more physical than what soccer ought to be. And I think sometimes that can be frustrating when one team's more skilled than the other if they're banging around a lot. But I think the program, obviously Maple Grove's been in the conference since the start, and Totino-Grace has been in it long enough now that they're both used to it. They know what's coming. And nice cross there by House. It's going to result in a corner kick as the defender, Andrew Leesman, had to just knock it out of play. And a corner coming for the Crimson, and their goal, the only goal of the game, did come off a corner kick. So I'm going to try and get things set up here, and Jana will take it for the Crimson.
Let's see if they do it again with that low shot. Yep. Oh, nice. That was nice.
Batted away by Kuffel.
Could have come out just a little bit further, but that was a very nice corner.
Out of play it'll go. A throw coming for Maple Grove as we check out that corner again.
Watch it come down right in front of the goal area. Good shot.
And this will be a throw for Totino-Grace. High bouncer here. Knocked around a little bit. Eagles trying to get it out of there. And a collision call is going to go against Maple Grove. I think as physical as they've been, it's kind of like they're not getting the benefit of the doubt anymore either, because they've been bumping people around quite often. Cleared out of there by Rada.
Good transition on the counter, but now there's a battle in the midfield, and Eagles come up with it momentarily, and now Maple Grove again. They're winning those 50-50s.
Play to the outside, an opportunity here again. Anyamale with it for Maple Grove.
It's a 2-on-4, so he backed off just a tad.
And chipped over here looking for guy on the far post, Carter Sheard, but couldn't quite get it to him. Hood throwing it in. Another thing that's been a little bit different, we've certainly seen more players playing for Maple Grove here today. They've made use of pretty much most of the people who are dressed today already. And you see some guys getting ready to come back in, or at least to be ready. As we see there, Damon Humphrey reported back in. He started the game, but
yeah, keep your players fresh. This is the time of the year when players are nursing little bumps and bruises. Ooh, almost a breakaway there.
Yeah, and I guess there's no, set hard and fast rule about how you're going to substitute, but I think, if you've got a deep program, it makes sense to do it more too, because you're not, sacrificing quality when you bring in your subs as much, maybe as a team that doesn't have quite as much depth. You obviously want to get everybody feeling involved too, so they're not asked to come into an important game, after sitting on the bench for 70 minutes or whatever.
Right, and you want to bring in the players that know each other too, that are familiar with how they're going to be moving around.
Throw in here and then boomed out of there toward midfield. High bouncer, tough to handle there for Franklin, and Maple Grove trying to take advantage, and then a nice ball ahead. Jana had that one blocked. Tries it again and knocked away one more time.
We'll see if that keeps up. It looks like the Eagle defense is starting to cut down on those passing lanes.
Here's Robinson and Lamar battling again, and Robinson able to hold them off, and Waldrum will get there. Robinson's a veteran player and a good player. You have to be careful not to, commit a foul right in front of your goal there and give him a PK, but he's going to do his best to make sure that he's always got a body on Lamar and not letting him get a clean path to the ball. Nice ball there up to Anyamale, but takeaway by Franklin for Grace. And now the Crimson able to force another turnover. They have done well at forcing mistakes from Grace that maybe they don't normally make.
Yeah, we've been watching win those 50-50s and the takeaways.
Nice ball ahead here to Brown. Brown trying to beat his defender here. Ball jabbed away. It'll be a throw for Grace, but good job by Teddy Miller of sticking with him. Gonna bring Savard up to take this throw for Grace. Looks like, I think they're calling the subs in, or are they telling them they have to hold?
I think they have to hold.
Yep, Savard will take this throw in for Grace, and now they're allowing the substitutions to occur. Grace brings in Prince Cole again, number 9, and 49, Levi Dunlop for Maple Grove. As Savard with the throw, here's a header, but it'll go wide of the net. So a goal kick here for Maple Grove. Crimson leading it again by this 1-0 score. Andy Hicks scoring early on, a little less than 7 minutes in. Connor Fournier coming back into the lineup for Maple Grove. Caleb Robinson's going to take this goal kick this time for Maple Grove. Now it comes to Lamar. Lamar pushing it past the defender to himself. 3 guys literally on him there. knocked away. It looks like they made a little adjustment. You know, sometimes when you're having trouble getting the ball to a guy like Lamar, you maybe bring him back a little bit out to a more of an attacking midfielder. On the left, Justin Turner. On the right, Greg Leininger, the co-head coaches for the Maple Grove soccer team. Been a consistently good program. Greg Leininger's been around for a long time, 18th year as head coach or co-head coach for some of the years. And Justin Turner was an assistant in the program and then third year as a co-head coach.
Number 6, Will Zaver, coming back in for the Crimson. While we have a second here. Center referee for this match is Mark Riviak. AR1 is Ray Najad, and AR2 is Jason Hofstad.
Sent that one up long. Barty was coming after it, but Kuffel read it well and got to it. Header going back. Lamar, oh, look at that footwork to control it to himself here. Got a pass away, then the return. Lamar chipping it to the front. Robinson blocked it. And Robinson will smack it out of there again, up to Zaver. Saw a good flash of the skill there from Lamar. Now ahead to Zaver. And plays it nicely up the line there. Put a little spin on that one to keep it in. And then jabbed out of play by Sheard, though. It'll be a throw for Totino-Grace. Getting later in this first half now. Still 1-0 Maple Grove. The week ahead is the last week of the regular season. Maple Grove will compete in Section 8AA and Totino-Grace in Section 5A, which widely acknowledged as the best section in Class A. We saw, you know, Sig, you got a chance to see very good Lake and Breck teams last week. Those two, along with Grace and De La Salle, are all, I think, in the top 7 in the rankings, and they're all in Section 5.
And they're all excellent. Like I said, yeah, I did cover that game last week. I was totally impressed with both teams. It was one of the more fun games to ever watch.
That'll be interesting to see how Grace would match up, or first of all, how they get seated. But I thought it was interesting that Bill Vance, I think, is a pretty fair-minded guy, and he was talking about the QRF thing, and he said, you know, they're a team that plays a lot of AA opponents in their conference. And he actually said, I don't think it's fair to the other teams in our section that we get rewarded more for that. He said, you know, it is what it is with your conference. And that's the one problem that I've always kind of had with that QRF thing too, is you got to look into it deeper in terms of the quality of the team you played. I don't care about school size. That doesn't, you know, beating the worst AA team isn't better than beating the best A team by any stretch. And that's where it gets to be difficult a little bit.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that the other coaches I talked to last week agree with that exact assessment, that it's weighted and not necessarily in the favor of the other teams. Another set play for the Eagles.
Savard will chip it out front. Robinson gets ahead on that one. He's a good one back there. And Savard coming up very aggressively to try and get in. Greg Leininger throwing the hands up. What was that? And but then again, at the same time, Maple Grove has been pretty physical here today too, and that one was called. So a free kick here for Maple Grove as Caleb Robinson will take it. Robinson launching it ahead. Eagles gain control. Maple Grove hasn't been dominating quite as much here in the last 10 minutes or so as they had been for a while earlier. And we'll see if the Eagles get something. That one's off the hand of Lamar, so a handball call there, and a free kick coming for Grove. Robinson will put his foot to it here for the Crimson. Eagles wind up with it as Jacob Wolf playing it up the line. And gets a return. Ooh, he is bumped into pretty good
Yeah,
there, and that one will be
was
called there as Dunlap tried to hold the hands up like, oh, sorry there, but...
yeah, not me. Yeah, it's you.
Another look at it here. He tried to get shoulder to shoulder, but he wasn't alongside him, and he banged him in the back.
Yeah, and the way it goes, if you're shoulder to shoulder, you can push and shove all you want, but if you get in front of or back of and then push, then that's going to get called.
Oh, yellow card issued here to Totino-Grace.
Must have said something.
Yeah, I think so. A little bit of extra complaint perhaps, and they're trying to let him know. Brian Brown, they're going to come over and tell Bill Vance, which is customary. It was a short conversation. I would have to, I know we're not down in the field during the games very often, but I'd have to say Bill Vance is probably one of the least likely coaches to really get on an official. He's a pretty mild-mannered guy, but a good coach.
Yeah, good coach, a very class guy. He recognizes that it's a hard-fought game late in the season, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on. So he probably said something that the referee didn't like.
Maple Grove making a substitution there as well. This might have been an injury thing, I think. Otherwise, I don't think they would have allowed that sub in that spot. So Hicks will be coming back into the lineup. And a free kick out near midfield here for Grace. There's Robinson again. Boy, he has gotten ahead on a lot of balls that have been sent in like that.
Yeah, he's tall and pretty agile back there on defense.
Dunlop controlling it up the left side. And then return pass. Barty and Dunlop looked at each other. He was expecting him to keep cutting, and it didn't happen. So
not on the same page on that particular scenario.
Oh, and Dunlop, a quick takeaway though. Wow, and then a nice little move. He is a nice player for Maple Grove. And they try to go back to him here. It bounced away from him a little bit. Savard knocked it forward. Here's Xavier looking to switch fields here, go to the right side. Now ball served in there, but nobody able to get to it other than Cuffle, Grace keeper, coming out to grab it up. It's interesting, there have been a fair amount of balls that were, in traffic in front, but really not a lot of difficult saves for either keeper yet so far.
No hard shots on goal.
Yeah, other than the one that went in, really.
And that was off a set play, so you haven't seen any good quality shots, as they call it.
And Lamar had that pretty good, high rising shot after the, after the corner that he got away. But now a long serve into the middle again here. Crimson again able to get the best of that and get it out of there. And it'll be a throw for Grace. Dunlop was trying to turn the corner, but couldn't do so. As we go down to a minute to play in the first half, they tried to go to Lamar here. Now the pass does reach him. In some traffic, Lamar trying to get it back. And the Crimson able to win that ball. Now Dunlop. Dunlop splitting between, but had it taken away by Cole. Little pass drop back and a battle for it. Off to the head, and that one's going to come all the way through, and Waldrum will come out and scoop it up here for Maple Grove. Waldrum booting it out there, and the wind knocked that one down a little bit. And we had a little climb on the back. Foul call against Totino-Grace as the last seconds of the first half tick off here. So we will reach halftime with a 1-0 score in favor of Maple Grove. A physical battle and entertaining first half of soccer here on CCX. Well, our CCX Sports Play of the Week, a great new feature on our website at ccxmedia.org. It is brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. And there's 4 plays each week, and you get a chance to pick the winner by going to our website, ccxmedia.org, and let's look at our most recent nominees.
not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education.
No one receives a diploma alone.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove. A little halftime contest here as they toss in balls and see who got closest there. As good fundraiser. There's been chuck-a-puck at hockey for a long time, and I've started to see it more and more at other sports too. Swimming, I was at the other day, they were doing it, and now obviously here at soccer as well. So yeah, a good opportunity to raise a little money, and you know, you feel like you control your own destiny as far as winning it too. If you make a good throw, you win it. So we'll go to halftime highlights here as we had just one goal in the first half, but actually a fairly action-packed half. Not a lot of great chances, but here was off the corner kick. The ball deflects and right over to Andy Hicks, and he just one-touch volleys that one into the corner of the net. Here's another possible chance there for Maple Grove on the cross, but nobody able to get to it, and then a bouncer to the front. There was really their second good opportunity. The first, the save made there, and then the second try went wide. That was really their second best chance, I think, of the first half. And that pass just didn't quite connect. Maple Grove was really kind of dominating this one early, but that changed somewhat later. There we saw coming out was Waldrum to get that ball. As you see, the first half stats do lean toward Maple Grove.
It certainly does, with Crimson coming up with 8 shots, 2 shots on goal, 11 fouls, and 2 corners. Eagles with just 2 shots, 1 on goal, 5 fouls, and 1 corner kick. So Crimson have the edge in the stats, but overall it's been pretty close.
So a 1-0 halftime lead for Maple Grove. We'll take a timeout and come back with our second half of soccer. You can also watch for the girls' game coming up on CCX as well. I sort of thought they'd be playing before long.
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps! Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. There's a look at Andy Hicks, who scored the only goal of the game so far in this one. Maple Grove leading Totino-Grace 1-0 here as we get set to begin half number 2. And kind of interesting, Sig, as is often the case, there's a little officials talking back and forth with some players here at the end of the first half, and also coaches, and right there before the second half started, we had it was a physical first half, there's no doubt about it, and both teams at times were, frustrated or complaining a little bit about what was going on or what was called and what was not, but been a fairly called game, I think, overall here.
Yeah, I think the referee's doing a pretty good job of controlling things. They let them play but not get too chippy. So it'll be Totino-Grace scoring from your right to left, white uniform. They have the kickoff. And as soon as the referee's ready, and away we go.
Brown puts it into play and then sent up toward Cole. He heads it to Lamar. Lamar tapping it over and then looking for a return ball, and he's got it. But the defense is able to get back into position and make a play. Yep. Matt Rada with the takeaway.
And again, they triple teamed them.
That's got to be tough to find ways to still get the ball to somebody who's triple teamed. And obviously he's been able to do some this year with 20 goals and 7 assists, but when teams really are out to stop you in this sport, it can be difficult because there's just not that many ways to get you the ball with you're that much surrounded.
Yeah, the problem is if you double or triple team somebody, that means you're going to be leaving somebody else open.
Long pass there. Fournier not quite able to run it down. The wind may have kind of helped push that one beyond his reach there as well. So it actually went over the end line. Goal kick here for Totino-Grace's Gabe Kuffel.
And wind now going from left to right, probably about 12, 11 miles an hour, but the gusts are probably up near around 15, 20.
Eagles gain control here. Now they find Lamar. But that pass to an open area. Ooh, Lamar nearly won that ball back. But it'll be out and a throw for Maple Grove. I think everybody kind of relaxed like the ball was going to go out, and Lamar saw an opportunity, almost dragged it up the line and past the defender, but didn't quite work out that way. Ooh, big time collision there. And Grace's Savard saying, what, I played the ball, but Maple Grove player Barty went down hard. Teammates giving him a little pat there. He definitely got the worst of that collision. Now Xavier will send it in. Bounces over everyone, and Kuffel will let it go over the goal line here. Here's another look at that collision.
Right into the hip.
Yeah, and I can kind of see Savard's point a little bit there in that he played the ball, but he did sort of turn the hip toward him a little bit late there too. And
yeah, I think he got called that right at the end. He just happened to give a little subtle hip check.
Another battle for it in the air here. The call will go against TG. It's a free kick for Maple Grove.
Good work there by number 2, Andy Hicks. Free kick for the Crimson on the ball.
Kind of get the feeling that these teams are going to have trouble scoring on anything but set plays like this, right?
Yeah,
there's a header just wide. Xavier got a piece of it.
Yep, that's what you were saying earlier. The shots that are coming in are from the set play, obviously, that ended up in the goal. But otherwise, no really good quality shots or hard shots on goal outside of the one that Stevenson Lamar had early.
To Brown. Drops it for Cole, now looking toward Lamar. Actually, first to it there was Morey, and then he gives it to Stevenson Lamar. Puts the brakes on, dropped the pass off, but it was blocked. He's able to flick it over the Crimson player back to himself. And then Xavier knocked him down. Foul call against Maple Grove, and it'll free kick for Totino-Grace.
Yep, he ran into the tree.
See Lamar, and there's extended the arm a little bit there.
Hooked the arm underneath the elbow. And
now they've stopped the clock, and I think they're saying that Lamar has to come out of the game. Is he maybe got a little blood on the jersey or something? It must be. They're going to swap him into a new jersey. So Lamar will be 21 for the moment. And probably for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'd say for the rest of the game. Must probably tore something on the uniform.
Yeah, I was thinking either that or blood. So here's Lamar. That one knocked high in the air by Caleb Robinson. Header up the line here and a race for it. Collision in the air. Leisman got the worst of that. And Andy Hicks won that ball back for Maple Grove. Now they've got a little space to work with. Xaver sending it ahead here toward Fournier, and it's offside. Could kind of hear a few Crimson fans thinking that the flag came up kind of late in the process there, but a call's a call.
Yep.
Xaver lifting that one ahead. Nice back heel kick by Savard. And things getting physical again, and that time Swanson won that ball and then knocked out of there by Caleb Robinson, looking to Dunlap. Plays it to himself up the line. Looking to get an angle across this ball, but defense stuck with him. Xaver steps in front of Cole to get it. Xaver firing, and that one will go about a foot or two wide. So you look toward that post on the left side. It was a nice read for him to jump in. You could see this one coming because Cole was waiting for that pass, and then Xaver just let it rip. I think a pretty good idea there, considering how hard to come by chances have been there. I think that was probably the right play to take that shot, try and catch the D before they were really ready, but he just didn't quite hit the net.
Yeah, if he would have just put a little bit of English on that, spun it in, that would have gone inside the far post.
Lofted ahead. This one apparently is onside, and Dunlap lifting one over the net. Kuffel was really caught out in no man's land there. He made a late decision to come off his line, and he was well out of the net, but he just couldn't quite control this one to drop it in.
Boy, he wants that one back because he 9-ironed it going towards the net. Could have very easily made this a 2-0 game. Foul called against Totino-Grace.
Robinson chipping it ahead, try to go to Xaver here. It's bounced away. It's going to be a corner kick for Maple Grove.
We got a corner kick here, lead pile. We got a scoring opportunity. Let's hear it.
Xaver will take this corner here for the Crimson. Kind of interesting that you'd think they'd want him in front with that size.
With that height, yeah, absolutely.
But I guess if he's real skilled on the corner kick too.
Boy, it sends a bullet in there. That answers that question.
Just over the top on the header. Maple Grove thought that Totino had touched it last and they'd get another corner, but it doesn't work out that way. Throw in coming here for Grace, or is it it is a throw. Another look at this corner. We'll see who really gets a piece of this one. I thought it might have hit off Savard's shoulder after.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it went off the Totino-Grace player.
But then again, we're looking at it with a closer up look and slow down a little bit too. It's hard to tell in live action for the referee and for us. Here's the shot, and a slow floater from Joe Morey is on goal. Holden Waldrum has not had a whole lot of work back there, and that one wasn't terribly difficult. You can see the sun. He had to shield his eyes a little bit here. Obviously, we're basically at midday, so it's not low in the sky or anything, but it still could be a little bit of an issue. I know when I was walking in and looking toward the field, it was pretty bright. And especially it feels like we haven't really had too many of these kind of days of late to play in. Throw coming here for Maple Grove.
Yeah, that could be more of a problem for Waldrum than for Kuffel, because he's looking into the sun.
So Maple Grove will be subbing in here. Anyamelli. There was some confusion. He didn't really report all the way right to the midfield, and I wasn't sure if they were telling him you can't come in or you have to come in, but Dunlap will come out.
Dunlap's had a good game in the first half. Had a lot of good, nice breakaways.
Here's Charlie Miller with the throw in. Comes back, whoops, and a little swing and a miss there. Battle for it in the air here. Grace able to get the clear, and now they'd look to push it upfield. Lamar knocked it to the outside, and now Robinson a step in, and he was tripped up there by Abedu Bensi. So free kick coming up here for the Crimson. Here's a chance out front. Oh, and Cuffle coming in. Lifted up the line. Yeah, there'll be some changes forthcoming. There's a look at Hicks, who again has the only goal of the afternoon. Another look at that big scramble in front. Crimson battling and trying to get a cross away, was sheared but knocked away. Now it comes out. Here's Xaver chipping one. Oh, and Cuffle just got a piece of that. Now he has to backtrack in a hurry to get back in his net. Comes out front, sheared, pushes one just wide. It'll be a goal kick, and Maple Grove chipping away, getting opportunities. Boy, this was a nicely placed ball here from Xaver.
Look at this nice sky ball just inside the post area.
Knocked ahead, and Waldrum will elect to boot it out of there, and then it goes off a Grace player. A throw coming for Maple Grove. Thrown ahead there and quickly knocked out by Leesman. Another throw for Maple Grove here as Matt Rada will take it. And that one gets out of play as well. Another throw for the Crimson as they inch their way up the sideline bit by bit here on these throw-ins. Got it to Xaver in some traffic. And that went off him, though. It'll be a throw for Totino-Grace. Pretty difficult to get around or through Xaver when he's trying to protect that ball.
You're not going to get around him. And he's very adept.
Brown dropping it off there to Morey. And they swing it out right side here. Bedu Bensi has it get away, though, and it will be a throw from Maple Grove as they quickly get back into it. Played over into the middle here for Enyamale. Pushes it outside. Franz able to track it down. Playing it toward the top of the box, but the Eagles get there first, and now they look to move it back upfield. Lamar, nice pass over to Cole. Cole looking back for Stevenson Lamar. Dangerous, here's his shot. Oh, and a great stop by Waldrum as he went down low to his right. As Lamar, this is what every team fears. He's able to work his way free here with some great footwork. Played it right between the defender's feet actually there and got away. Look, I'm sure he would like to have that one to do again because he kind of put it a little more into the middle of the net than he would have liked. But
yeah, a little bit more to the left that would have gone in unscathed. But you're right, that's why he's so dangerous. Even though he's double teamed, he just went right between them.
Barty sending it ahead, and a Grace player going down hard that time was Savard, but he's back up and into action. To the outside here, Barty dropping the pass off. Down to the corner and a big race for it. Anyamale able to get there. And jabbed away, but it'll be a throw for Maple Grove. Look at that last opportunity by Lamar. Watch him just knock it right between the defender's legs.
Boy.
Didn't quite hit it fully there.
Yeah, that was a great effort. Just not able to get it, get the finish on it.
So a throw in for the Crimson here as they continue to hold a 1-0 lead. That goal came pretty early in the game, about 6:48 in. And nothing since for either club, obviously. Here's Maple Grove trying to generate a chance. Ball loose for the moment in the box, but then cleared out of there by the Eagles. And it stayed on the field, though. A little backheel pass was broken up and taken, and then we get a foul call as Anyamelli was a little too aggressive there. Eagles looking to trigger it back into play quickly here, but then taken away. However, we had another foul call against the Crimson.
Two quick fouls. Well, that's only their second foul of the second half, whereas they had 11 in the first half.
Sent long here, but really nobody home. Kuffle's going to wait and scoop this one up. He's had good decision making, I think. He's kind of aggressive, likes to come out, but I think he's made the right choices on virtually all opportunities.
Nice passing here.
Carter Sheard had a little room to work with. Hooks it out front. Knocked away, though. So he tried to get it to Peterson. There's Robinson with a nice interception, but Lamar then tripped him up. And this looks like it's going to be a yellow card for Stevenson Lamar.
You'll see it again.
I wonder if he said something, because
I didn't see.
The trip didn't appear to be enough to be a cardable offense, I didn't think.
Unless it's been repetitive where the referee has warned him before.
And I think this is a spot where, your coach, you kind of stick up for your player there, even if you're not sure if he's right, just because, Lamar is an important player to them. And there's no doubt, in this game and every game, people are going to be physical with him.
Yes.
They're probably going to do some illegal things against him. And, he's just standing up for his guy there too. But I wonder if it probably might have been something he said more so than the trip itself, I think was an accurate call, but it didn't seem to be a cardable.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That was not a cardable, so it must have been something he said, or it could have been a build-up of other activities. Nevertheless, Bill Vance didn't seem to argue with him. He nodding his head, saying, "Okay, yeah, I understand. Might not like it, but he understands."
Zaver driving it to the front. Grace got to it first, and then they're able to knock that one high in the air. Crimson trying to push it right back into a danger zone here. And it'll be out of bounds off Brown, a throw for Maple Grove. They'll throw it in quickly to Robinson, and he has a little room to work with here to drive this ball upfield, almost like a free kick. High bouncer, Peterson trying to gain control of that one, and instead it's going to be Kuffle charging out to scoop that ball up. Kuffle driving it low up the middle, but a quick turnover here and sent ahead. They tried to spring Peterson, but Sheard's pass gets away, and Kuffle again has to play it. But the good news for Maple Grove is, again, they've really kind of taken over the play in terms of keeping it in Grace's end.
Yeah, they're controlling the ball much more than the Totino-Grace team.
Here comes Brown upfield, and he was body checked a little bit there. It'll be a free kick for Totino-Grace. Savard will boot it here. Looking to go out to that right side with it. Flip to the middle, and then Jana knocks it away, but good recovery there by Teddy Miller to make that a throw-in instead of a corner kick.
Yeah, he hustled over there knowing he knew it had some spin on it and got there to make it a throw-in.
And that's
heads-up defense.
It seems like a little thing, but it's definitely a lot of difference to be giving up a throw-in rather than a corner here.
Right, and in a tight game like this where set plays are key.
Sending it out front. Jana was the only one there. Then it's sent back into the box, and Crimson able to get the clear. Out to Sheard. Maple Grove hustling forward, trying to get something going here.
Boy, tracked down nicely by Lamps.
Then both players slip and fall down here. I think this is going to be a Maple Grove throw. Good hustle and nice job by Leesman to get back to it, though. Now here's Xaver putting it out front, and it's deflected in. Maple Grove getting its second goal of the game as France, I believe, directed that one in. And the Crimson strike for a second time today as Xaver puts it out front, and France able to send it in.
It's a nice centering pass right on the foot of France. So the assist will go to Xaver for that very nice pass.
For Chris France, goal number 2 of the season. So the Crimson take a 2-0 lead, and you know, as what their coaches talked about a lot of times, that we've been attacking hard, and a lot of times feel like we've had the better of the play, but haven't scored as many as we should be or like to. And that one, I think, you know, I mean, you don't, with this much time left, you obviously don't say that seals away the game, but it does, I think it makes the feel of the game quite a bit different, knowing that now it would take Grace 2 goals rather than just 1 to tie it up.
Yeah, put some extra pressure on them, as we've been saying all game long. There haven't been a whole lot of quality shots on goal, or hard shots. Now Totino-Grace needs to get a goal pretty quick to get back into the game.
Savard will tee it up. Chipping it to the front. Oh, ball bobbled. And unable to recover it was Waldrum, but then he was bumped into. And keep in mind, again, he's just coming back off injury as well. Well, Park Center found out the hard way that Grace can score in a hurry, though, too. Here's another look. I wonder if the sun didn't bother him a little bit there. Waldrum didn't catch that one and then got hung up in traffic a little bit.
That's what we talked about earlier. That sun is the enemy right now of the Crimson goalkeeper.
Knocked out of play. We will get a throw here coming for Totino-Grace.
So this is one of those opportunities for Totino-Grace. If they can get a high shot into the goal area, that'll give Waldrum something to deal with.
Shot attempt here, but that one mishit by Connor Swanson.
Yeah, I don't think Willie's going to mark that one up.
So a goal kick here for Caleb Robinson of Maple Grove. His team leading it now by a 2-0 count. Flicked ahead, looking for JT House. Does battle there with Savard. Savard wound up with it. High bouncer here, and Lamar is going to come back to meet it. Again, he's got 21 on now instead of 7, as he had an issue with the jersey, either a tear or some blood on it.
That one's going to go against Lamar.
I think it might be going against Maple Grove.
Oh, you're right.
Got tangled up there with Damon Humphrey.
Well, there he pulled on. Actually, you could have called the first one against him.
Chip to the front here, and that's going to be Waldrom's ball to grab. And we get a stoppage, and looks like another card is going to be coming out. Who's going to get this one? Oh, and a red card. This is going to be Brown, who will be out of the game now. His second yellow turns into a red.
Boy, that's going to be costly for Totino-Grace. He's one of their big forwards. He's actually a midfielder with playing forward position sometimes. So we have a stoppage here as referee Roviette comes over talking to Coach Vance.
Well, that's something that, players have to remember, that when you've got one already, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
And now Coach Vance, remember when I said he doesn't argue much?
Yeah, well,
this
I think
time he is.
He's not happy about this one, and obviously he's a little upset about it. I don't think he's upset at the referee for the call as much as he's going to be with Brian Brown. So now making the task a little bit more difficult. Totino-Grace is going to be playing a man short. And the other big factor is that means that Brown will not be playing in the next league game.
So Brown out of the game with that red card, and as Sig said, of course, now that means playing with 10. Knocked up field here. See, that probably not going to help Grace's chances of getting back into this one. Losing a player, but also that player.
Right.
Around. To the front it comes, and Kuffel playing it on one high hop. Second try gets it upfield here, and Maple Grove's front sending it ahead. And again, Kuffel will come out. He's putting in quite a bit of mileage here. He's ranged far and wide to intercept balls that were being sent ahead. Crimson looking to attack up the middle that time, broken up by Franklin, but they get it back. Out to the outside for Sheard. Sheard trying to cross it. A defender got a piece of it though, and then sent out of play. We will get a throw for Maple Grove. But again, like we've talked about in past games, Sig, you kind of feel like now Maple Grove's best defense is a good offense. I mean, they're just continuing to play, looking to attack. And whether they get another goal or not, obviously they're going to make it difficult, if not impossible, for Grace to catch up if they continue playing in their end of the field.
Yeah, exactly. They know full well what Totino-Grace is capable of doing with their scoring prowess up front. However, now one of those scorers is sitting on the bench.
Charlie Miller, the throw in. It bounces loose out front. A little header there, but couldn't really get it away an attempt yet. But Crimson get possession back here. And here's a shot, and that one just over the top. Turned into a pretty good look there for J.T. House. He was out a bit, but he had some space, or Damon Humphrey rather, and just about a foot high. There you see him getting that left foot on that one. Just got under it a touch.
Yep. Just came bouncing off the football goalpost.
Battle for it here on the outside, and you kind of feel like maybe Maple Grove's depth is part of the reason they're ahead in this one too, because they in the first half especially, they came in with a kind of a more or less a second group up front, and they brought some extra energy too. The first group had played well also, but then you saw a little, just subtle differences in how they play and what their skills are, but they came in and really gave a good shot in the arm, I felt like, in this one too.
No, I think you're right. They've been shuffling players in and out consistently.
High chip here. Oh, and it bounces loose, and let's see. Are they going to count this? Yes.
Yeah,
it'll be a goal. 3-0 as the ball was just dropped by the keeper, and Connor Fournier puts it in.
Yeah, I wanted to see if there was going to be any kind of a call in terms of bumping it, but here, let's take a look at it. Nice high shot.
Looks like Kuffel has it measured. Yeah, he ran into his own teammate, and Fournier was right there to bang it in. So Fournier, Fournier was looking around a little bit like, is this one going to count? And then he gave a little flex there, as he was just in the right spot at the right time, and puts it away for a 3-0 Maple Grove lead.
Yeah, so we were right. It was indeed bumped, but it was by his own player. So now the uphill battle becomes a real climb. 15 minutes to go in the match.
Lamar banging it ahead here for Totino-Grace. Dunlap tracking it down. Ooh, and Lamar threw a hard elbow at him there. I'm surprised that wasn't called.
But you get the foul, but I think you're right. That could have been.
No, they didn't call a foul either. Just out of a throw.
Just a
in
throw in. My goodness. All right.
Dunlap coming back.
I'd like to see that again because I thought he lowered his shoulder and pushed his shoulder into him, but no call.
I think he did. And obviously Lamar, I'm quite sure, already had a yellow card earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's got the elbow.
A frustration play right there, I think, for sure.
But
now Lamar gets the pass, looking out to his left for Cole, but a nice step up made there by Rada. Ooh, and then a spin move from Dunlap. Looking ahead now to Matt Rada. He'll cross one here. The race is on. Oh, and Cuffle goes down hard. And they whistle it dead before this shot can be taken into the net as Cuffle is injured.
Boy, he got crushed on that one. Let's see it again.
Another look as he...
Oh, yeah, just submarines him, and he lands really hard on that right shoulder.
JT House coming in.
Yeah, see it again. Going after the ball. It was not deliberate, obviously. He was going for the shot, and Duffel came out and just ran into it right by the hip and flipped him up.
And it's always a tough thing there, whether, you know, Crimson fans thought that the play should have gone on and would have been a goal because it was not a foul initially, obviously, right there.
But the referee calls the injury, obviously because it's the keeper, it makes a big difference.
And I think if this was a, say, 1-to-1 game, there would be a lot more complaining going on.
Could be, yeah,
but
you're right.
They already have a 3-0 lead.
You're right.
Don't know if this is just for fun or whatnot, but Maple Grove's setting it up as though it's going to be a penalty kick.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
Another look at it here is House. Yeah, House didn't do anything wrong here.
No.
He was just taking the shot. And
then he just turned trying to avoid.
Charged at him.
Yeah. I think he was rolling to get out of the way and didn't quite make it.
Leo Conforti would be the backup keeper for Totino. See if he will come in or not.
Well, the good news is Cuffle's standing up. I don't think he hit his head, but he certainly hit his shoulder.
Yeah, and he looked like he was actually holding more like
the stomach.
Yeah, midsection area though.
Yeah, it's hard to say because there's 2 points of contact with the player, and then when he hit the ground. See Coach Vance is up there. Duffel's jumping up and down. I think he's telling the coach that, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go. Cuffle wiping himself off.
Kind of looks like they're looking toward the bench, and we may see the backup keeper coming in, Conforti.
Well, I don't see anybody on the Totino-Grace bench moving. Now, look, yeah, Cuffle is going to come out. Gets a good hand.
Gabe will play another day. Glad he's all right.
Yep, Conforti is got the gloves on, and he will be coming in. So look at what we've got coming up here. Obviously, we've got the girls' game of this doubleheader, and then some good volleyball on Tuesday as Champlain Park hosts Osseo. And then boys and girls soccer at Wyzetta coming up on Thursday the 3rd, and then Osseo Maple Grove football matchup on Friday, October 4th. So there's a look at the junior Leo Conforti coming into the goal for Totino-Grace. Hard to say if, Cuffle, they may think with this 3-0 score, no reason to bring him back in, but if he's, feeling well enough, then he might.
Well, he's sitting on the bench, and
quite honestly, obviously they want to tend to the player and everything, but why is this taking so long after he was up and ready to get out? Another 5 minutes went by. Savard will boot it ahead here. Onto the foot of Prince Cole. And a nice takeaway, and here come the Crimson. On the attack there is Humphrey. And he was held a little bit there, so we get a free kick. We said how physical it had been, but it kind of gets the feeling now that the margin's where it is, and then we had that stop. Maybe we'll see that lessen a little bit down the stretch here. I mean, I think both teams will probably kind of figure that this one's decided now. So you get another look at Jack Krieger coming back in, trying to hold him up a little bit. And Maple Grove will add to the lead.
Yeah, we see it. Shot coming in.
And there's
just no
put
way
away by Damon Humphrey.
Yeah, no way you're going to stop that one. Beautiful pass up the middle, and Humphrey right there to put it in.
In for the Crimson, number 2, Andy Hicks. And number 37, Max Markey.
So Maple Grove with a 4-0 lead with 12:48 to go in the match.
I have to say, not exactly sure what, or didn't really expect to see this, this kind of score either way in this one based on the teams coming in. But Maple Grove has outplayed them pretty much from the get-go here today, I would say. You know, they went a long time with it 1-0, obviously, but they've had the better of the play for probably 80-90% of the game, I'd say. Yeah,
they had much higher 50-50 ball wins, much better passing, much better control, and their breakaways have been, especially in the first half, were almost devastating. Totino-Grace trying desperately to get back into the game with at least a goal to make it interesting.
Big collision after Cole made that pass as he collided with Charlie Miller, and they both went down. I don't believe there was a foul called. It was just two guys, both coming together, but both of them stayed down for a little bit, so that's the reason for the stoppage. Don't think they're making a late foul call here. See, as Cole is getting rid of the ball here, he kind of makes a little leap and then knocked in. And they both, he might have turned an ankle.
Yeah, he was holding his knee. He may have bruised the knee on the way. Miller coming out from Maple Grove. Cole getting up gingerly.
Looked like he gave a little thumbs up there, said he can walk his way off here anyway.
On to to the Philadelphia Eagles, number 17, Chris Lance.
Robinson will put it back in play here as they wind the clock. 4-0 lead for the Crimson. They led 1-0 at halftime. They've added 3 here in the second half. And that's going to be a handball call against Grace as it bounced up into Savard's hand there. Xavier will boot this one for the Crimson. Gonna drive it at the net and just a little over the top. Again, Grace's backup keeper in there now, Leo Conforti, after Gabe Kuffel was injured.
And looks like we're going to have a change in goalkeepers for Maple Grove.
Yeah, Noah Germanson's going to come in.
From JV today, let's give a big round of applause for number 17, Ferris.
And Ferris Musa coming in, we saw a moment ago, and there's a look at Noah Germanson, who's been playing goal for them when Waldron was injured too. So both teams have made a goalkeeper switch here in the second half now. Ball played to the outside, but get out of play. Both teams subbing Lano too. It looks like Lamar's day may be done for Totino-Grace as he is checked out. He had a little bit of a knee injury in that Park Center game. Isaiah Silver coming into the lineup there for Maple Grove as Xavier checks out. Lofted ahead here, trying to go to Musa there. And not quite able to run this one down is Hicks. So a goal kick here for Totino-Grace. We were talking about these teams, wanting to close out strong. I asked both about seeding for their respective sections and said, it really does still depend quite a bit on what we do the rest of the way here. This after today, both teams have 3 games remaining. Maple Grove's next game is not an easy one. That should be a good one on Tuesday night. Andover, who's been really strong leading the conference, will be coming here to Maple Grove to face the Crimson. And they've got a couple road games after that to close it out at Coon Rapids and at Irondale, both seemingly winnable games for the Crimson, but that Andover one will be a very good test. A lot of people have been very impressed with that Huskies club this year. Battle for it here, but all in all, this one gonna be a good win for Maple Grove's sake. Not just to win, but just the way they played all day too.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. They played well, possessed the ball very well. I was pretty impressed with the way they moved the ball up on the sidelines quickly and mounted their attacks. Well, now we got a timeout for something.
But Totino-Grace does not have, they're more than one man short out there right now, and wonder if this is a little bit of a statement of the game's gotten so physical that we don't want to risk any more people or what?
I don't know, but yeah, you're right. They're playing two people short.
See what the Eagles have coming up. They'll be at Rogers, the new addition to the Northwest Suburban this year, and then Spring Lake Park before closing with Anoka next Saturday. You know, I mentioned that Lamar checked out. I don't think we didn't miss him getting a red card also, did we? I don't think so, but they're playing short now by more than just the one guy that they need to be.
Nice work and hustle down there by number 16, JT Houck.
In fact, one of the subs who's getting ready to come in for Grace is counting players, and like, yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. Here's a header that's flicked wide. New player coming in, and I don't think anybody's going out. So they're getting back to the strength that they could be at here.
Right. Somehow they managed to get an additional player short. So now they're back to only one short.
Mitchell Hyde flicking the header for Maple Grove, and I don't know that necessarily coming into this game that this was a game where you thought you'd be able to get some of your JV guys in there and everything too, but that's the way it's winding up here with this 4-0 lead for Maple Grove. Back it goes. Abedu Bensi trying to keep control across the middle of the field, and he was bumped a little bit, so a foul call there. I think they want to make sure that nothing more happens here down the stretch. Not been, over the top physical, but definitely a physical game.
It's been a pretty physical game, and there's been some key injuries.
Savard sending one in, but that one headed out of there. Now Hicks picking it up. Got it to Barty, but too much traffic around, and they knock it away from him. Follow up though by Charlie Miller. Knocked away from Musa. Pushed ahead into the Grace zone, and George Franklin back to pick it up here for the Eagles. Alex Grimaldi did a nice job to keep that ball alive there for Maple Grove. Out to the outside it comes now. Eagles just failing to connect with that pass there. And it'll get out of play. Another throw coming for Maple Grove. And they turn it right back over. We get a throw for the Eagles.
At this point, Grace just wants to avoid the shutout.
And they might get a pretty good chance right here.
They can just
good run through the middle, and then a shot, but it'll bounce wide. So looked like Joe Morey was going to create a chance there, but never really materialized fully for the Eagles. Germanson will leave it for Caleb Robinson to take this goal kick. Musa flicking it ahead there, try to go to Hicks, but now the ball spins free and they'll send one long again. Conforti coming out will gather it in here for Grace. And Musa, the recipient of a nice ball ahead here. And this will be a corner kick coming for the Crimson, as his crossing pass was blocked by Franklin, but it will result in a corner here for Maple Grove. Isaiah Silver out to set this one up here for Maple Grove.
Corner kick taken by number 24, Isaiah Silver.
And then the shot attempt by Musa goes wide. It'll be a goal kick here for Totino-Grace. was a 1-0 game for an awful long time, and then Maple Grove tacking on 3 in the second half here, and actually fairly late in the second half.
Yeah, they just kind of explode for 3 quick goals. And of course the red card didn't help them any. Be a throw in for Totino-Grace.
And the race is on here. Abedu Bensi getting to it, and nice job by Charlie Miller to cut across and take it away. And do so cleanly too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a nice tackle he made. Just went in there and just scooped the ball right out from underneath his feet. That's the other thing we haven't talked much about is that the Crimson defense in this match. You see it again, getting in there and getting some takeaways.
Joshua Abedu Bensi, though, trying to generate something, and then that ball booted out of there as Grimaldi knocked it out. There'll be a throw coming for Totino-Grace. Little step through there by Ryan Kane, but it couldn't come up with it. It'll be a goal kick for Maple Grove as we tick down toward the last minute of play in this one. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, which I didn't, for a lot of the game, it didn't seem like that would be the case, but Maple Grove, you know, they got to 2-0, it was still definitely a game, but then the third and fourth came, then it was kind of pretty much the fates decided and benches cleared and all of that down the stretch here.
1 minute left in the game. 1 minute left in the game.
So Maple Grove trying to wrap up the shutout.
Robinson's going to play it back and let his keeper Germanson handle a little bit here.
That's the other kudos goes to Robinson. He played a very solid defense in this match, especially in the first half, keeping the Eagles at bay.
Yeah, and he had a lot of the time the assignment of making sure that the ever-dangerous Stevenson Lamar didn't get free, and they were able to hold him in check pretty well. He made a couple of moves that gave you an indication what kind of talent he has, but not able to get anything in the net, obviously, for the Eagles here, as they will be shut out here by Maple Grove. As we tick down to zeros, and Maple Grove picking up the victory here by a final score of 4-0 with those 3 second half goals, helping to put this one away. An impressive victory for the Crimson. And they've got Andover coming here. That'll be a good one if you get a chance to come out Tuesday night to watch Maple Grove Andover. Should be a great matchup. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Watch for the girls game as well, as John Jacobson will join Sig for the Crimson Eagles girls matchup. Your final in the boys game, Maple Grove 4 and Totino-Grace 0.